Okay. You're on.
Hi, Peter and Elizabeth. We're here with QE2. We're going to do your first hive inspection today. Just opening the hive. So far, QE2 looks really good. We've had some not as good queens so far, but judging by what I see right from the start, Queen Elizabeth is by far one of the best queens we've looked at so far today. We're going to try to make some splits today, and I'm thinking that her hive is probably going to be one of the prime ones. So another thing we're going to do is look at going to do a mite count on them too, since I think this will be the first one that we can actually do a mite count on. Yeah, right here's what we like to see. I just put this box on last time we were up here, which was about 2 weeks ago. So she's got capped brood already here, so that's a good sign. So one of the things we're going to try to do today is find Queen Elizabeth, because we're going to make sure we don't put her with the other queen we're going to set aside today. I don't think she'd be on this one, but like I said, just based on what I see so far, I think she's a really good queen. Probably one of the best ones so far. Because the bottom box looks like it's full of bees, which is what I'd like to see. So this is just some drawn comb on this one, not a whole lot. This one looks like it's mostly just honey. And they were building new comb on that one too, so this hive is by far one of the best ones.
Wait. Oh, I
think it's just drones. There's a lot of drones on here. So this frame has a lot of drones on it. The drones will kind of hang out together. Those are the male bees, and this has got honey. They like to come on the honey frames and just sit out and eat most of the time, I think.
When a drone isn't sitting in the beehive eating honey, it'll fly up to a drone congregation area, or a DCA, and basically that's a spot up in the air where a bunch of drones hang out waiting for a virgin queen to fly through.
Yeah, it's like a bachelor pad for male bees. So we'll just keep circling around and around. Actually, this is the time of the day that between noon and 5 o'clock is when you'll see most of the bees out for mating. So, like I said, by far this hive looks one of the best so far. I don't think we're going to have an issue with this one. So one of the things we're looking for, if you remember from last year, we're going to look for eggs, which we already found some on that other frame. We were looking for brood, how good of a pattern she has, which she has a nice pattern, meaning that all the cells in a specific area are filled up. That means that she's a highly productive queen, laying lots of eggs and doing a very good job of it. There's an egg on this one. Okay, there's some eggs on here, so she could be on this one. When you're looking for the queen, you don't have to look through the whole hive. Most of the time she's going to be where you see eggs at. You don't have to look on the honey frames at all.
Either
most
on
of the time.
Frame, yeah, on the frame with the eggs, or right next to it usually.
So this only has a couple eggs on it, so
well, that'd be a good frame for her to be on then. When a queen lays an egg, it'll stay an egg for 3 days, and then it turns into a larva. So when you see an egg, you know that the queen has been on that frame within, at most, the last 3 days.
So this is what we're looking for. This is what we call the pattern. You can see there's really not a whole lot of spaces missing. Most of the ones that they did, they filled up with nectar, which they'll do when they're bringing nectar in. They want to have it by the bees too. So those couple that are missing there, you don't worry about.
Do you want to shake some in a jar?
Well, there's not a whole lot of open. I guess there's some open brood there. Hoping to find a full frame of brood. I don't want to put the queen in there either.
So that's a nice frame of capped brood there too.
That's what we like to see.
So the population of this hive is going to grow really, really quickly. She's doing a good job laying eggs.
And they're bringing nectar, and that's what this is right here. When I tipped the frame over, there's a bunch of nectar they're licking it back up. So that's nectar that they're bringing in, which will turn into honey.
I think you missed her.
Yeah, I think I did. This is mostly just sealed brood. This is drone. We talked about the drones. This is right here, drone larva, which is where the cells are bigger. If you look from these cells to those, you can see they're quite a bit bigger. And then when you look at the drone bee, which is this one versus one of those, that's just a worker bee. So the queen will lay an unfertilized egg in the drone comb, and those will turn into a male bee, and then the females are a fertilized egg. She has what's called a spermatheca, which is just a special organ when she goes on her mating flight. She only leaves the hive a couple times in her life. One is when she goes on a mating flight, and she'll mate with up to 20 male bees, and then she stores all the sperm in that spermatheca.
So these lumpy ones here, those are the drones. And they usually put those around the outside because they're not as important as the worker bees, so if it gets really cold,
so here's some,
they kind of act as insulation.
Yep. There's some open brood here.
You want to get a...
Well, I don't want to scoop. I'd like to find the queen first.
All right.
So we're going to do a mite count today on this one, since it does have open brood on it. But to do that, what you do is you get a half a cup of bees off the brood, and then you put some powdered sugar on them and shake them around a little bit, and that loosens up the mite. But in the whole process, you kind of beat some bees up. There's only a couple ways to really check for mites. This one doesn't kill the bees. It maybe bruises them a little bit, but at least then they're still alive. The other way is it's called an acid or an alcohol wash, where you put half a cup of bees with alcohol, but then the bees do end up getting killed. So we're not going to do that method. But in order to do that, I got to scoop up half a cup of bees, and I don't want to scoop the queen up because she'll go for a ride. Okay, Peter and Elizabeth, we found the queen. She was quite hard to find. She was in a frame that had holes, and she was ducking in between, so she's right here. And when we found her, we painted her, so she's got a mark on her now. So hopefully next time we want to find her, she'll be a little bit easier to find. She's right here.
You can't move the frame when painting it all over.
So she's a pretty nice looking queen. She's got a long abdomen on her, so that's probably why she's doing so well. So what we did was we made a split. We took half, or not quite half, the bees from this hive, and we're going to add a queen to it tomorrow. And then hopefully all will go well. Queen Elizabeth can keep doing her thing and making lots of babies, and we'll see this hive explode here, I think. If the weather ever cooperates. So thanks a lot. We're going to put the rest of the hive back together, and we appreciate you buying a hive 2 years in a row, and hopefully this one will do really good this year, and we'll see some great things. So thanks a lot. Bye.